Hey guys, Brown's thoughts here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. I didn't expect to be doing this on a random Friday in early March, but here we are, and the latest development in the Myles Garrett situation, as you know, the Browns are still holding firm that they're not going to trade him. Myles Garrett reportedly asked to meet with the owner Jimmy Haslam, and Jimmy Haslam said no and turned him down. And I've seen a lot of rejoicing in the Browns fan base and saying, "Hey, this is great. It's good to stand on your morals and good to stay out of business, Jimmy Haslam." I see it the completely other direction. I think this is petty. I think this is grossly stupid. What harm is there in meeting with your star player? What harm is there? Like you don't have to trade him, but like at a certain point, like not meeting with him doesn't solve the problem. Okay, not meeting with him doesn't solve the problem. It's like, okay, you're the owner of the team. You should meet with your star player and try to calm this situation down. I understand that people, and I'm the biggest proponent of anything. I want Jimmy Haslam to stay out of football operations as well. But this is your job as the owner of the team, and really the one that can stop a lot of this and try to potentially try to bridge the gap, even though it's probably cooked. But for him to not take this meeting is unacceptable, and it is the latest example of why I say Jimmy Haslam is the worst owner in all of professional sports. Jimmy Haslam sucks. Sell the effing team. Like I don't get why you and some people will say, oh, they don't need to trade him. They have the Miles is getting humbled. But you're just making yourself look bad. Like now organizations like players who get into certain situations and they're not going to consider coming to Cleveland because they're going to think it's a goddamn prison. It's where you go to die. And that's been the universal perception. They've been trying to change that. They made one bad decision and it screwed them over. I also saw this argument from a couple people on the internet. Miles wanted the quarterback, and he's a part of the reason why they are in this predicament. You know, that may be true. He's a player, okay? He wanted something. He didn't make the he didn't make the trade. He didn't sign the contract. He was the one who wanted Baker Mayfield gone because he wanted better, which is totally understandable as a player who had been killing themselves for years and not being rewarded for anything. Okay? Like that there's a difference between wanting out, and yes, could Myles Garrett have handled this situation a lot better? Of course he could have. Of course he could have. But given that this has reached a boiling point, it has gotten way out of hand. Just trade him. Just trade him. Just end this, rip the Band-Aid off. Keeping him around is only going to have another distraction in the building. It's not going to help you go anywhere, and it's going to make you look worse and worse and worse when you're trying to build a team and trying to repair the image of this franchise that no free agent's going to want to sign in Cleveland. Like, what are we doing? Are the Browns fans this delusional that we're getting to the point that we are siding with Jimmy Haslam of all people? We're giving him the benefit of the doubt? Are you kidding me? Do you people hear yourself talking? Myles Garrett has done more for the city of Cleveland than Jimmy Haslam will ever do. All Jimmy Haslam did was sign a paycheck and, become an owner of a football team. That's it. Myles Garrett has fucking killed himself through 1-31, through some really terrible seasons, and got them to the playoffs. He won a Defensive Player of the Year. He has done more for the city of Cleveland than Jimmy Haslam will ever do. So of course I'm going to side with Myles Garrett. I am always going to side with Myles Garrett. I will never side with that piece of shit Jimmy Haslam and for what he did and took the soul really out of me in terms of rooting for this franchise, because he's made more terrible decisions than Myles Garrett ever. Like I don't fundamentally get what you people are thinking when you honest to God think to yourselves, "Oh yeah, totally. That's totally a normal thing to think that, yeah, Jimmy Haslam not taking a meeting with his best player when he wants to talk to him about what's going on. We don't even know the contents of the meeting. Maybe it was going to be civil. Maybe Miles had good intentions. We know nothing." And you people are immediately dismissing it, saying, "Yeah, great job, Jimmy. You did the right thing. You stayed out of football business, and we humbled him. We really told him." All you did was add fuel to the fire, and you made this look way worse. And listen, they're gonna pay for this. They're already paying for the Deshaun Watson debacle, and now you're in a situation where you're gonna pay for not getting out in front of this Myles Garrett thing. And maybe they'll get a good return. Maybe they'll do what they want with whatever happens. but this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well, and this Jimmy Haslam thing, I think, has made this situation much, much worse. It didn't make it better because he stayed out of business, and he said and everything that we've wanted him to do, stay out of this isn't staying out of football business. Meeting with your star player, that is part of your job as the owner of the football team. Yes, I understand. You're not supposed to be in the day-to-day football operations, but this directly affects the business and operation of your team. One of your star players is not happy. You meet with him. You take the meeting all day. Like, what? I can't believe people are actually siding with Jimmy Haslam. This is absurd, absurd in my opinion. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching. We'll have more content coming here on the channel. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.